Today I have to machine a valve casing mandrel out of a piece of steel to fit inside of a casing for a trumpet. So what I gotta do is just take a piece of steel stock and I gotta turn it down to the inside diameter of the casing, and all I'm gonna do to get that number is use the valve that goes into the casing, and yeah, and then I just turn down the steel stock until it's the outside diameter matches the inside diameter of the casing, and then I tap away at a couple dents, and that's it. So maybe I'll record a little bit of the machining. Maybe. Why not? The tolerance is a gap that's machined into a part so that the parts that are to be put together don't seize, fuse, I guess is another way to put it. So in trumpets, there's a tolerance built in between the valve and the valve casing. And the smallest amount of variance can cause a hang-up. And as I have in this case of this trumpet on the third valve, there's the tiniest little dent on the third casing. And that's completely hanging it up when you're about almost all the way through, further than 3/4, like 7/8 of the way through, depressing the third valve, and it sticks. So what you do first is check visually, inspect the area for anything that may be damaged, parts that are all cattywampus and whatnot. You want to make sure everything is straight first. Make sure that there's no blemishes, dents, anything that's not normal to your instrument. And the next thing you're going to do to see if it is in fact either the valve or the casing is take out a known working valve. So let's say, like in the case of this one, my third valve is sticking. So I'm going to take out the first valve, put it in the third valve, and try it. If it sticks, chances are it's the casing. If it doesn't stick, it might be the valve. Take the third valve that was sticking, put it in the first valve that you knew wasn't sticking, and all of a sudden it's sticking. You know then that it's the valve and not the casing. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look for the sticking valve. As our third valve is the sticking valve. So what you're going to do is, since we know this is the problem valve, we're going to test a known working valve and the valve casing that we know has got a problem. Same problem. That right there tells me it's not, well, here, just to double check. This is the third valve. Probably won't. Third valve. So I'll put it in the first valve just to make sure that it's not the valve and it's the casing. Swap these back so we don't forget. And if you look right there, that's the dent that's causing all of our problems. Because if we put the valve in through the bottom, that's where it sticks. So we have this wonderful thing that I machined today called the valve casing mandrel. It fits right inside there, so what we're going to do is we're going to take that dent out. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to gently burnish that dent. Okay. Next we're going to tappy tap tap away. And we'll start with our small Delrin, and if we need to move up to the canvas, then we will. Be careful not to slip and hit your knuckles. Also be careful not to hit your threads. And then check. Oh, it's already feeling better. It still grabs a little, but as you can see, it's already made its way in. Oh, it still grabs, but it's not as bad. Might have to use a metal hammer. I like to try to avoid that as much as possible. So let's try a canvas, see if we can't get a little bit more out of it with the canvas hammer. There it goes. What you're doing is you're bracing and you're pushing the trumpet, bringing it down against the surface of the metal because you don't want any space or air in there. So you're bracing against the mandrel. Alright. Might be out of round a little bit, I can see. Oh! Lost our finger hook. I'll set that down. Where's my valve? Oh, there it is. Let's double check. Oh, it's feeling better. Oh boy. Let's see if it catches. It'll probably still catch a little. Oh yeah, it still catches a little. What you do is you push in all directions. Because, I mean, let's be honest, how many trumpet players do you know play like straight up and down? They're always pushing or... So, yeah. Sticking a little bit yet, so we're almost there. Just a couple little bit more tappy tappers, and we're going to keep using the canvas because that seems to be working real good. And if you notice, I'm rotating the instrument. What I'm doing is I'm taking the metal and I'm moving it back to the center, kind of like kneading like dough. Oh, got my light. Hey, give me the... There, jeez. Clean that out real quick. Check her in through the bottom first.
think we got it. I think it's there. Moment of truth. Oh, what's clicking? There. Oh, something's clicking. What's going on here? I think it's missing the felt. Oh, there. And that's all there is to it.